evening, and welcome everyone to This Week in Eorzea, the Final Fantasy XIV weekly news podcast. Joining me today is Pyra, as always. Thank you so much for joining me.
Happy Monday.
Happy
It's the holidays.
happy, like, something 10th December. Oh my god, where has the year gone?
I have a countdown calendar to Christmas because I celebrate the very commercial Christmas.
You mean like an advent calendar, like one of those candy ones?
Oh, I have one of those too. But this
Okay.
one's like a house with blocks, and you change you split the blocks for the numbers. There is 9 days till Christmas, and I don't have a clue where the month went. Gone.
just too fast. So there's a lot of news going on. We need to get straight into it. Live news, breaking news. I guess I'll just start at the bottom to make sure I don't miss anything. Auto demolition for North American resumes January 8th. North American servers. Demolition for private housing has been on hold since the storms happened a couple of months ago now. So they've given a very generous amount of time for people to recover, get somewhere safe, get their internet back up, be able to get back into game. So you gotta pay attention to that. 30 days after January 8th, your house could be demolished if you don't set foot in it.
There's a misconception I see a lot of people too, where they're like, "Oh, I logged into the game, I'm safe," and it's you have to go into your house.
You have to go into your house physically, and not only that, some people say you actually should interact with something in your house, like talk to a vendor or click on an item or something, just to really make 100% sure that you've done that. Now, usually they send out emails before demolition saying you've got like 10 days left or you got 3 days left. Don't really rely on those emails just in case. If there's any way you can get into game, just make sure you do it. Housing on some servers is still at a premium and you don't want to lose it. So.
Including free companies too, because I've seen free company houses go because everyone assumes, oh, the leader's gonna go in or someone else is gonna go in, and no one goes in.
That's true. So free companies, at least one person has to step in, but I think there's also a timer for the free company owner too. Don't call me on that, but I think they're two separate timers. So
yes.
Yeah. Dawn Trail 30% off sale until January 9th for Windows, Mac, and January 3rd for Xbox. What's this? What's this?
Yeah. So if for some reason you were watching this and you're saying, hey, I'm in, I don't know, Heavensward or Stormblood, I haven't purchased Dawn Trail yet, now's a great time to do so. It's going to be 30% off until January 3rd for the Xbox, or for the Xbox Microsoft Store, or if you're on Windows or Mac, it goes through the 8th. So that has already started, and this includes both Dawn Trail Standard and Collector's Edition and the Complete Standard / Collector's Edition.
Awesome. Okay, good time to get in. Also, I guess kind of linked, there's a sale going on right now on the online store as well. For level skips, story skips, Fantasia, and a new glamour. What's this new glamour?
Everyone is going wild for the Presh Catboy himself, Grahati. I know people have already made like their own kind of knockoff Graha glams, and so now we have an actual, I think it's a 4-piece. Yes, a 4-piece Graha attire. And is that wig or the hairpiece with this, or is it separate? Now that I'm looking at it, where's his hair? I know it exists. Oh, it's separate. They did make it separate, like a separate costing item too, which I'm kind of shocked about that.
Oops. Let's back up here. Jackets, bracers.
Oh, they did do screenshots of like the different items too, which is nice.
And they're all dyeable, so
that's perfect.
You can be an off-color Grahati. We have Grahati at home. Yeah.
Is this like the Sailor Scouts where we're just gonna have all different kind of colors? Graha Mars. Graha Mercury.
Oh, so this next one then is the haircut. Scion Special Issue 4.
Nice.
$5.
This is kind of my favorite way for them to do a Scion glam, or kind of like an NPC glam, because you can get all the separate pieces. Like, it is a little sad that the costume's separate than the hair on one hand, but on another hand, if you don't want the outfit, but you really want the hair, it's a good way to not have to, like, dump a bunch of money for, like, one portion of the outfit.
No, definitely prefer it to the way they did, like, Minfilia and Lise and stuff, where the costumes are literally just, like, one piece. It's a suit.
It's so sad, and you can't dye them. You have the goofy pants and shoes on Lise. I'm still bitter.
As well, of course, because a seasonal event started today, the seasonal event items from past years are also on sale. So it's kind of a little eclectic mix of a little bit of everything here. I got a friend who won't play with you because they can't get through a Realm Reborn. Well, $6.30 will get you through a Realm Reborn. Hashtag controversial opinion. Yeah. So, you know, I did buy one when they were on sale last time because I have a lot of alts, and there's only so many times you can go through the story. Also the New Year's, the Heaven's Turn stuff.
The Heaven's Turn. I didn't get a chance to look at this page in full, so I'm glad that the Heaven's Turn stuff is already on sale. Because that we're probably any day now we will get a full update about what Heaven's Turn is going to include and when the dates are.
The horse head helmets. I love them.
I love it. I love them.
Oh.
I wish Vera could wear them. That and the like rabbit-esque.
Couple of chocobo bardings. Yeah, just some of this stuff is really kind of sweet if you're doing like Christmas glamming or in-game FC parties or something. Just some really nice decor. It goes on and on. I'm not gonna share everything, but it goes on and on. The 7.1 special site got updated because 7.15 is dropping tonight.
Tonight/tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I guess. Okay, 10 p.m. Pacific is not today for Eastern places.
Yeah, Debbie, some of us are on the East Coast.
Right? So there's a list of a few things that are coming down. I guess most notably here, let's share again. We got new Hildebrand is dropping tomorrow.
Further.
Inconceivably, because there is no reason he should be here, but apparently it's inconceivable. I don't think they know what that word means. Custom deliveries, new custom deliveries for anyone looking to get those tomes if you're saving up for one of the mounts or something. And the Wachu Meki quests are continued for anyone who has completed them all. I just have Fisher left. That's the only one I need to get through, and then I'm done, so I can do these new quests. How about you? Have you done any of them? Have you looked at them? No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Truthfully, I have fallen out of love with crafting and gathering for a while, so any of that style content, I want to fall back in love with it, so I just need to do it.
Exactly. Those quests are really fun. Granted, I haven't done any of the role quests at all in the game, so, you know.
That's fair. I just finished the three of them yesterday.
Wow.
Tank, healer, and caster. Because I kind of wanted, it was my goal for yesterday that I wanted my mentor crown back for battle mentor, so I went through, made it a deal to sit down and like do all the role quests.
Yeah. They take a while. They are a little bit of an investment, especially since they like made more of them when they separated like physical versus magical DPS and that sort of thing. So
very happy it's not just class or job quests anymore.
Right. But at the same time, I didn't forget to do those as often. But
True.
because your
With the
abilities.
amount of classes. Yeah, when they tied it.
That's fair. Okay, Twitch. That started today. So anyone who wants their Twitch-themed Frosty mount, you just have to find anyone who is streaming Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch, and give some combination of 3 subs. So whether sub yourself for full price, primes don't count, and gift 2 subs or gift 3 subs, and they will mail you in Twitch a code that you redeem on the mug station. So, I'll be streaming the rest of the week. So if you happen to want one, I love gift subs. Honestly, they're my jam. I don't know how you feel about gift subs. But...
I adore them. I'm also open and willing for gift subs. I think the thing that's nice about this too is that you can, if you're someone who doesn't want to give the gift subs, if you're like, I want to spend the subs on me, like you can even buy a sub from 3 different people for yourself, and it counts. So you can kind of mix and match however way works for you, which I really like, and support any streamer that's playing 14 instead of just having to do that select few streamers. Mm-hmm.
No, definitely the smaller streamers are super excited about this, looking for your love. So if you have the opportunity to help them out, please. You get a mount out of it.
And 58th right tickets.
Oh yeah, and the 58th right tickets.
Cannot forget about those.
I'm down to my last like 450, so super important.
I wish.
I haven't paid for teleports in years, but
where's a mug so it could be like charity, taking 8th right tickets.
Oh man. Yeah, so patch 7.15 tonight, 10 p.m. Pacific. What is that? Eastern? 1 a.m.?
1 a.m.?
1 a.m.?
Time?
What is that over there where it snows a lot? Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, so it'll be 1 a.m. Eastern to 5 a.m. Eastern, or 10 to 2 Pacific. Mm-hmm.
Endwalker Anniversary Sweepstakes still happening for another couple of days here. So if you haven't entered yet, make sure you go and do it. I think any social, it's mostly on Twitter, but I think they've kind of linked it through any socials. You just click on the link, follow them, repost whatever they tell you to repost. You get some entries into this draw for an entire, anniversary box set of Endwalker?
Yeah, so this is actually the same Endwalker Collector's Edition box that came out when Endwalker launched. I'm assuming they just found some in their warehouse, maybe when they were looking at the Dawn Trail sale, but yeah, you can just get that whole box if you are one of the lucky few winners.
Awesome. As you already said, the Starlight Celebration starts today. You can pick up your barding, your cocoa, your poster, a housing item, which is like a stack of cocoa mugs. And what is this about Juno?
So they did not talk about this in the main Starlight announcement. However, in their blog that they just posted 3 days ago, they put a little bonus feature that if you have completed the first part of Echoes of Anadil, you can go to Lower Juno during the event, and there might be something special to do with the Starlight Festival. So they're urging you to go there. I haven't seen it for myself, but I would have to assume that Juno is kind of decorated for the Starlight Festival, which is pretty cool.
Might be a great place to take, I don't know, screenshots of glam for glam contests. I don't know if anyone's hosting one of those.
I don't know any of them.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, and of course, the other important date while we're still on it is a week today. a week today, which would be Chaotic Alliance raids.
And it's Christmas. Oh no, week tomorrow, you silly
Week
goose. It's
tomorrow,
Monday.
yes.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait, patches don't happen on Mondays? What are you talking
My
about?
patch does happen on a Monday, okay?
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
I just know it's
West
Christmas
Coast
Eve.
versus East Coast, yeah.
Cheers. But it is Christmas Eve for most folks when that drops, so there will be probably a mixed bag of folks who are not able to make it, and then other folks that have the day off and are like, woo, time to do chaos. So
Absolutely. And we will be talking more about this in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. What do I have? I have a Tales of the Duty Finder sent in to me today, so we can read that. Yeah. I asked everyone if they have a tale from the Duty Finder, positive, negative, want to share it, please email it to me. I'll put my email address in the description below. Anyone that I get that I have the ability and the time and the energy to share, I will absolutely share on stream. This one comes from ZX. He didn't ask to be anonymous, so there you have it. ZX says, maybe I should go into community.
community check-in.
Community check.
I got you.
Awesome. I was in a duty roulette farming poetics, so a main scenario roulette. I was a samurai, and in the party we had a warrior, a reaper, and a sage. The dungeon was full of banter throughout, with the tank giving me tips as I asked about new tanking to learn. As we get to Livia, which is the final boss, the healer disconnected at 50%, just DC'd. The warrior died at 20%. With encouragement from the warrior, myself and the Reaper DPS'd her down. This was thanks to my shield ability, plus the Reaper using our defensives to control the fight and avoid damage where possible from mechanics. The Reaper took a hit and went down, leaving me for the last 8%. I fell to Livia at 0.1% as my heal was on cooldown for 4 seconds. My shield had already popped, and I had just hit her. One hit would have done it, but unavoidable targeted attack finished me off. Yeah, that 0.1%. If you've ever been in a raid or a trial or a dungeon and you were done in by that 0.1%, you know that feel. You know that feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We decided to wait for the healer and spent 15 minutes sitting and talking about Final Fantasy XIV. After 15 minutes, we decided to find a new healer. A white mage joined in after a short 5-minute delay, and we completed the dungeon, myself procuring 2 accommodations in the process. I calmed the tank, and it was one of the best dungeon experience I have ever had. So, thank you, ZX, for sending that in. That is not usually the experience. So usually if someone DCs, especially at the very end, you try to fill the position right away, or like during an MSQ roulette even. Like, I can't see people waiting 15 minutes, but good that you had a group that was willing to just sit and chat and wait.
Yeah. I've definitely had those groups before, especially like, I'm gonna sound old, but like back in the day, like I feel like more people were totally down to like just chat. And so I've definitely had those parties where somebody's DC'd and we're just chilling. We're just vibing and introducing ourselves and talking about things while we wait in hopes that the DC'd person will come back. And then if not, you just kind of respectfully have to kick them from the party.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was cute. So if you have a tale from the Duty Finder, please send it in to me. I'd love to hear it and potentially read it on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I added this in. I don't know about this. So what are we not talking about this week? Since I deleted my Twitter, I haven't had a lot of ideas for this.
This is fair and probably sane and stable.
Exactly.
We aren't talking politics. I think this is also kind of us for the most part. Any time of year, but being Christmas time, the holiday season, this is all about being cozy, comfy, joyful, and not about things that make us sad or mad or
Yeah.
angry or indifferent.
Just agree to be cozy for 2 weeks. Just give us 2 weeks of pretending that no problems in the world exist. Canada has had some political strife today going on for anyone who's up in Canadian news, but let's just forget about it.
Yeah.
Drink cocoa, sit in front of a fireplace.
Yeah, life's. I do say, especially as like people who play Final Fantasy XIV and games and like or kind of gamers more than just people who play video games. You know, sometimes there is this escapism, which I think sometimes is healthy. Like sometimes saying like we're just here to vibe, we're just here to enjoy ourselves. Like you said, Debbie, like we just need 2 weeks of just like ignorance is bliss and just enjoy life because it is precious and short. So that's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Okay. Tip of the week. I saw this today and I'm like, I'm not even sure I realized this. It makes sense when you hear it, but I didn't realize it. So snow happens in the starter cities during the winter event, during the Christmas event. But that counts as rain. So for the duration of the event, rain collars will be available in New Gridania. So I think it's the stem borer that you need to catch them. They are a level 40 quest fish. They usually sell really well on the market board because rain is so unpredictable. It only rains like every 4 or 5 in-game days, maybe. Sometimes it can go up to an in-game week and you still won't see any rain. So the prices can skyrocket up to like 4,000 a fish. Since it will be raining for a long time, you can stock up if you know you'll be completing that quest, or if you just want to have a couple of stacks on a retainer to sell through as the market goes up. Good idea. Good idea.
Not bad. I would have never thought of that either. Like, I know there's other fun stuff that you can do in those zones. Like, if there's a snow pile and you do the /throw emote, you can throw a snowball at someone.
Cool.
But I didn't even think about the rain collars.
Absolutely. So there are a couple of fish that are affected by the weather. There is a person I follow on Blue Sky. Oh, who is the fisher? The Final Fantasy XIV fisher name.
We just talked about them like
Fruity
not
Snacks?
that long ago.
I think it's Fruity Snacks.
I think so. I remember you mentioning them.
But they have an entire list of the fishes that change because of the weather. So you can check that out if you're very interested in fishing, but rain collars.
Or even just making a buck.
Right. I have had my time in the rain collar market, just saying. I have made some gil off of that.
Nice.
Okay. And that brings us to today's hot topic. Okay, with the Chaotic Alliance raid coming next week, what we know about it is it's going to be very dangerous content. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be potentially savage level Alliance raiding. It's going to be more like a trial because it's only one boss. The screenshots look terrifying. And Yoshi P himself has said that there's going to be a lot of organization required in taking this down. So what springs to mind when we talk about all of that? What other instances in the game do we have of content like this?
Oh, really? My first brain firing, if those are words, is like Baldessian Arsenal, Eureka, Baja, all that
Absolutely.
content.
So yeah, you got like Delubrum Regine Savage, and you've got Baldessian Arsenal as being very similar pieces of content. And what those pieces of content have in common, especially Baldessian Arsenal, is there are entire discords formed around clearing that content. So if you're looking to get into the Chaotic Alliance raid scene and you want to actually clear, as opposed to spending a lockout in Party Finder trying, you're probably going to want to look on Discord for a community. So here's the question of the day, the hot topic in of itself. What what would you do to clear this content? Is having to form a community outside of 14 to get through a trial, is it feasible? Would a lot of people do it? Does it limit the number of people who might attempt it? What are your thoughts on having to join a community outside the community?
Yeah, so it's definitely doable and successful. There are so many groups out there and Discord communities that kind of their mission is a very niche subject. I know my husband just recently, he's done some running some top and other ultimates with like this guy named Sauce. He's a content creator. Or Sausage Roll, I think is his in-game name, but he's got like, they just do ultimates, and like that's this community, and that's all they do, and they have people that host and take people through, and they have people sign up, and so like theirs comes to mind right away. But I know there are some of these communities that like really hyper fixate on some of these niche contents, and it's wild because it makes it like really nice and accessible, but it also feels like on the other side, if we don't have that kind of community within the community, it definitely makes things a lot harder to try to find folks that like have the same goal and prog point and everything like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I got my first clear on BA this past year rather. And I joined one of the Aether Baldessian Discords, and I worked with them. They were fantastic people. I really want to learn the fight to help give back. But these people give an outrageous amount of time to just helping people clear the content. Like every night they're there, they've got like lists of people who want in, they're organizing it, they're getting everyone in chat, they're telling everyone in the raid what they need to do and when, what abilities to have up, when to sneak, when to fight. Like they are just doing a phenomenal job, and it's all for free. Like no one's paying them to do this. And this content is now like, what? 7 years old, 8 years old. Like it's not new content, and it's still going on. They're still helping people clear today. It absolutely boggles the mind, their level of commitment to this. But now we're just adding kind of another group where we're going to have another set of leaders pop up and show people how it's done and help them through it. And I mean, kudos to the people who dedicate their time.
It's wild. I do, like, the more I think about it too, is like an unofficial system of doing things. I kind of love it. Like, I think that there are people who do love these niche pieces of content in the game. And it almost like, I mean, community is a really good word for it. Like, it kind of forms like a little camaraderie community throughout these different pieces of content. And like on one hand I'm like, oh wow, this is the like 100th Discord I've joined in the past like few months. But on the other hand I'm like, if I know that I want to do Baldessian Arsenal again, or if I want to do, I know that there's some place that I can go that exists people that will want to help, and that exists a place where people want to do that kind of content, which is kind of nice.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's even farther than that. Things like Island Sanctuary, there are Discords that give you, the preferred workshop composition for that week to maximize your scripts. Just pretty much anything you want to do in game, there are people online donating their time to help you do it right.
Yeah. It's wild when these folks are also like, and I see it with the Ultimate crowd a lot, or like the Savage crowd, where like they've gotten hundreds of clears and they just find so much joy in just helping someone else. And that's their motivator. It's not like some people who sell things for money or gil, right. It's like it's just people helping people, and that's it.
And not asking for a penny, like not asking for any currency in game, not asking for any drops, any comms, like just nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. It's wild.
Just for the love of doing it. So I don't even know how to phrase this question. Like, is this maybe asking too much to have people in the community have to take this type of leadership role, or is it something we've seen anywhere else, or is it a Final Fantasy exclusive thing? Like, I don't remember really anything like this in WoW or other MMOs I've played, but then they were living chaos.
I don't know of any other games doing this. Not to say like that it's an exclusive of 14. However, I think the 14 community loves it. Like, they eat it up. I see so many people so proud to like do any niche content. Even I think of another community kind of adjacent to all of this, but almost like you were saying, the Island Sanctuary, hunt trains. I remember before hunt trains were a thing, and now it's like every server or data center has their own hunt train Discord community, and there are seekers and conductors, and like they've made these like roles for themselves and these like leadership hierarchy systems, and it's no one's forcing anybody to do this. This is purely for like their own enjoyment.
Right.
And you know, it benefits the community, absolutely. But any of them could just be like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, you don't have to. There's no expectation. So I think it really gives people the chance and the opportunity to kind of step up and like feel important and feel part of a community, like a bigger, like, you know, a more niche community. Especially my husband and I were talking, because we've played the game 10 years next month, and the game has just gotten so huge, and I used to feel like I knew half of the server that I started on, and now I don't know like a percentage of the amount of people on my server, because it's so big now. And like, these communities kind of bring that sense of small community back, and it kind of brings like that camaraderie, and you know, you start knowing people like, oh yeah, like Sauce, he does the ultimate raids, and oh yep, this person, they do this. And so it's kind of really nice in that regard.
No, absolutely. So, I mean, I personally, I don't know where I would fit in the time. Like, these people,
Yeah.
I don't know where they get the time from, but just an amazing, amazing help to the community. Almost indispensable. Like, I don't even know where you would start to do like a Beldessian Arsenal run without the Discord, or, you know, like, even the thought of everyone next week who tries to party finder Chaotic Alliance just is making my anxiety spike. Like, I hope that most people are going to try to group up outside in a separate community as opposed to just winging it. But
nah, I'm not crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I don't hate myself.
So when are you streaming this? Because I'm
probably Tuesday night.
Oh man! Talk about a room full of cats. Like, everyone's gonna have their own idea of how a mechanic might work, and they're gonna be running around everywhere, and no one's going to agree on what the best thing to do is. And I mean, when it comes to something like that, content like that, 24 people is a lot. That's 24 people in the kitchen at one time.
Yep. And they all have knives. And they're all running at each other. Someone's about to die.
Yeah, okay, as long as you know what you're getting into, right? Like,
it's fun. Like, I definitely love the PF aspect for certain things, but like in day one, it's memes. I mean, it's really just the feeling of going into something fresh where no one knows what the heck they're doing. It is just all for the purpose of just like feeling that together. Absolutely.
It's the experience.
It's the experience.
So I mean, when we talk about Party Finder, so I've heard from maybe half dozen people at this point that even clearing of extreme content and Unreal content has been really hit or miss within Party Finder this expansion. Yes or no? Like, have you felt that too?
I felt some of that for sure. I'm very privileged where I typically have a full group, or at least if I'm going in Party Finder, we're at like 5 out of 8 or 6 or 7 out of 8. So when you have a majority rule and you know that the folks that you're already going in with are up to your par of like knowledge and like learning of the fight, it's much easier to kind of like, even if you have to carry someone through, or you have less chance of someone coming in with like a different set of kind of like how knowledge around the mechanics. But yeah, no, I've definitely had some parties this expansion that have been flops, complete flops, and I feel like some folks in the community have a lower what's the word I'm trying to use? They're ready to quit way easily. They're way easier than they used to. Like they don't have the patience or the tolerance. So it's been hard in PF certain moments.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially if you're spending a lot of time finding people to participate in the content. So say you're farming EX3 and it takes you 20 minutes to get a group together, and then 3 runs in, someone decides, oh, this isn't for me. And then you're just straight back to the drawing board because, I mean, usually if one person leaves, a couple others will like, well, I only had a limited amount of time, which this is going to eat into. So they leave as well. And, do you think Discord is kind of the way to go for forming those connections?
Absolutely. It's just, not a sponsor, even though I'm wearing my Discord hoodie today. Funny enough.
I just saw that, yeah.
But it's just, Discord has become such the universal hub for any community. I mean, the two of us, we have our individual Discords. We have our podcast Discord, you know what I mean? Like they're Discords for everything. You can have different tagging systems and ways to sign up to things and groups and sub chats and voice channels, and like it is such a the platform itself is so supportive of these communities in like a technical way, and these niche communities are really just where it's at if you're trying to find others that are kind of like on par with you. And then it's especially good if you're not someone who can just sit in Party Finder for hours on end hoping that the next person will fit the mold that you need, or vice versa, that you fit the mold that they need.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is a time saver. Final thoughts on having Final Fantasy content so dependent on outside communities and whether you believe it's beneficial or not.
I definitely think it's beneficial. I've definitely seen 14, the 14 team try to make the in-game communities work, and they don't. I think it's partially kind of too little too late. Like we have, I don't even remember what they're called. Almost the forums in game.
Oh yeah.
Never took off. I'm sorry. But I think that we're so reliant on these outside communities, and we use them on our phone, and you know, we're kind of connected to them even when we're not connected in game, and I think they're beneficial. Like I just see people helping people, and it sucks that we can't have that in game in one sense, but in another sense I think it really opens us to more folks, you know, different data centers and different kind of, you know, groups of people that can, walks of life that can kind of come together to like have a common interest and like share in that.
Yeah, no, I would say it's definitely a requirement for clearing some content in 14. And if having a place like Discord where you can get together and you can manage that is saving the devs from having to create another potentially fail of a system, and also like sparing them the time and just letting them focus on other in-game things that they need to work on, it's fantastic. I never could have dreamed that something like this could have existed back in the Ventrilo days, because that was just exact TeamSpeak, Ventrilo. Just it was such a distant thought that there could be these extremely large voice and chat based communities so specifically niched. In fact, the only thing I wish that Discord has was maybe a better way to manage all of the channels that I'm involved in,
Yes.
so that like it was when I joined the Hunt Discords that I started to become Discord blind. It's like you hear the notifications so often, you're just like, I am not looking at any of these anymore.
Yep. I have so many Discords because I organize mine by folders. There are Discord channels that I haven't looked at in 6 years, at least. I'm like, maybe one day, but I have so many that I'm like, nah, I don't know where that is. I don't even know who's there anymore.
But it's useful. So it's useful, or you would get rid of it, right? Like,
exactly. Or I'm a hoarder. Either way.
Okay. Definitely chime in chat below if you have a story about Discord. How do you rely on it? Do you use it? I'll try to find some Discords that are valuable for 14 players and post them below as well. I think that's about it. What are you up to this week?
Ooh, so this week I am definitely taking part in the Snow Streamer Twitch subathon event. I'm doing 3 days this weekend back to back of kind of a subathon. I don't have the full details yet, but expect Bean Boozled and more chaos, because that's what people like to torture me with. So yeah, that's gonna be most of my week, doing a mix of Fru, the new ultimate, and subathon. How about you?
Awesome. Yeah, I am going to be streaming. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. I'm going to be streaming Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch. I'm going to be hoping to get as many people as possible. Discord's got some Christmas events up. We're just trying to get in that really cozy, comfortable holiday feel. It's so hard if you're outside, if you're working, especially if you're working retail or customer service industries. Like, people just get stressed. You know what? I'll tell a quick story because we got a little bit of time. I work in a grocery store, not a large one anymore, a smaller one. But this is the time of year where people come in with recipes that they've never made before, because they've got family coming over, they've got, cousins or whatever. They're trying to tailor things to meet dietary requirements. So they come in not knowing what they need, just knowing that they've been told what to get. So I had a customer yesterday who came in looking for Thompson raisins. And so I took them to where the raisins were, and they had a big panic attack because none of them said Thompson's. And I was trying to patiently explain that raisins are all very similar. any of the raisins we carry would probably work, but they're not Thompson. So, sometimes you just have to force people to relax, take a breather, and realize that the world is not going to end. It's all okay. It's a thought.
World ends due to Thompson raisins not being available. Tragic.
Tragic. Yeah. No, so anyway, long story short, I'll be streaming 14 in Twitch and YouTube, so check me out. Yeah. And we'll be back next week. Wait, right? What is next week? Next week is the 24th. No. 23rd. We will be back next week.
This is how you know we're live, folks.
Exactly. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel, with more Final Fantasy XIV news. Check us out then. Thank you so much for joining me again, Pyra.
Thank you.
And take care, everyone. Yeah. Oh, I cut you off.
You're good. You're good.
Take care, everyone. Love yourself as much as you love others, and we'll see you all in game. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, all, Ricky.